I hope they get them.
May I get roll call, please?
Trustee Tarpley,
I'm here.
Trustee Brady,
Here.
Trustee Terrell,
Here.
Trustee Griffin is not here this evening. Trustee Wood,
On his way, he's turning in the parking lot. He just texted an
Student
update.
Trustee Reyes,
Present.
Superintendent President Dr. Walden.
Here.
Public comment announcement. The complete written request to address the board shall be submitted at the beginning of the am I in the wrong spot? Yep.
This is open session.
Oh, okay. So at the beginning of open session portion of the meeting, individuals may comment after being recognized by the board president, that's me, and before board discussion for a particular item, that's board policy 2350. I do have 2 items, so I'm just going to give them time in order of how they are set up on this, on the dais. So Justin Kilhorn.
Hello. I have some packets that I prepared. I apologize, Dr. Walden. Your name wasn't on the Board of Trustees website, or I would have had a packet for you. So I apologize for that.
But I could, oh, that's.
We'll share. I'll share with him.
Okay, within the packet,
I have one for.
One of our trustees is not here.
I actually have one for Haley Reyes, but she's not a part of closed session, so she would not.
So there you go.
Oh, he's here.
all right, that works out. Within the packet, you will find a copy of the written statement that I plan on reading in just a second, along with just evidence to support the statements that I'm going to be making. Okay. This spring semester would mark 8 years with VVC, and in that time, I've worked with the college to reach students from a wide range of backgrounds, upbringings, and beliefs. From traditional college lectures to the online hybrid courses, to the CCAP high school dual enrollment courses, to the justice-involved education program. And I'll forever be proud of the work that I've done with this college. In these 8 years, I have had no student complaints. All reviews I've received, both formal and informal, have been shining remarks about how fun I make politics to learn. And for evidence of this, I point you to both my regular peer and student evaluations, as well as comments made on the website Rate My Professor. On January 20th of this year, I was informed that there were complaints filed against me, and on the 27th, I was informed of an intent to fire me. I have not been able to get many details regarding the complaints. The only information my union rep was able to give me was that there were complaints from Victor Valley High School regarding profanity and certain criticisms of the government. Without further details, I'm not sure what I could have said that rises to a level of being fired for a first offense, but I stand by my lectures and I'm able to defend any comments that I make in class. Over these 8 years, I've evolved and I've adapted the way that I cover topics in order to reach the most students. It is not uncommon for students to come into my class thinking politics is nothing but old men arguing. This predisposition to disliking the course topic makes getting these students to hear and digest the information difficult. This evolution has involved the use of profanity in certain cases. You cannot walk across the high school or a college campus these days without hearing the use of swearing as common parlance. For better or worse, it's a language our students use and understand. I'm willing to acknowledge that swearing is often seen as unprofessional, and I'm willing to change this approach. However, after 8 years of teaching with no other complaints, I feel it would be an extreme reaction on the part of the college to fire me over this, as well as being disloyal to VVC students who have, time and again, taken one of my classes only to come back and ask if there's anything else that I teach that they can take. Beyond this, I'm not sure what certain criticisms of the government means in this context. I teach political science. The class I teach most often is Introduction to American Government and Politics. It is not possible to teach about concepts of separation of powers and checks and balances without being able to highlight examples of where the government has properly followed these rules, as well as highlighting examples of when the government has failed to follow these rules. This is true of many of the topics we cover in class, from the Bill of Rights and concepts of free speech and free religion, to the right to keep and bear arms or Fourth Amendment warrant protections. Further, I cannot talk about civil rights movements or even concepts like the Electoral College without offering defenses and critiques.
Can I stop you right there? I'm so sorry, the 3-minute timer just went off.
I'm going to make a motion to give you 45 more seconds.
Okay, I appreciate
We
it.
need a second.
Can we set a timer for that? I heard a second from Terrell, sorry.
We're actually following you. We have your speech and we've been given your speech.
I appreciate that. I just have my closing paragraph and I'm done.
So 45 seconds, please.
Thank you. I cannot talk about issues of civil rights or even the Electoral College without offering defenses and critiques of governments and governing institutions. I have not and would not ever declare a specific political stance and demand my students agree with me or suffer through some sort of shunning or grade point deductions. But I absolutely encourage my students to take positions related to the topics of that specific lecture and respectfully challenge each other. I push against those positions taken by students, regardless of my personal opinion, in an effort to encourage students to think critically and engage with the nuance that is U.S. politics. I hope that in reviewing the evidence that I've presented to you in the packets, that you will see that I am an asset to this college and to our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and our next speaker, James Arthur Garcia.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Hello.
members of the Board of Trustees. My name is James Garcia, sociology full-time professor here on campus. I need to alert that I actually suffered a medical incident about a year ago, and I sustained nerve problems, so I may make funny gestures or even noises that are not they're not on purpose. So my apologies to this board. Okay. As I start, my name is James Garcia. I'm a full-time professor here on campus. Actually, I have been here for 15 years since 2011. In 2011, I was hired part-time adjunct instructor, and then 2022 as full-time to the present time. I am requesting more of a private meeting with the Board of Trustees, perhaps, and this is to discuss the evaluation for that 4th year of tenure here at BBC. I believe I need to explain a life-threatening medical incident about a year and a half ago, more or less. Many of the issues are both physical and mental. This medical event not only affected me physically in a number of ways. We have a list. It's not too proper to say the number of physical problems that I have, but mentally, my behavior was affected in many ways. And oftentimes I have mood swings, depression, a lot of PTSD, of course, after this incident. That affected me in many ways, as I said, but my nervous system was actually affected the most, though I still maintain somewhat of a normal life, ignoring many of my feelings, because it does affect you in every single possible way. I, however, maintain my cognition. I'm able to teach, and I'm able to inspire students still to this day. There's many allegations about my behavior, anger, bursts of anger, sometimes gestures, not profane though, but antisocial. Not bad words either, but just scary gestures. Not exactly sure how to fix that. Well, my nerves actually do run to my face as well, and sometimes I do appear to be angry and frustrated. A lot of pain that I have to deal with every day. Even though those problems actually affect me every day, and they're numerous, I still maintain somewhat of a positive outlook on life. And what I like the most is the sociology, and I still have the passion for that. And I'm asking respectfully if my fourth year of evaluation could be reassessed or could go ahead and be given again as a second option.
Let me
And-
stop you there. I'm so sorry, you've hit your
I'm
3-minute
going to
mark.
make a motion to give you 45 seconds as we did the other
I'll
gentleman.
need a second.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so
Yes,
45
just to
seconds.
end. Yes, madam. Just to end this, I'd like to say that fourth year would go ahead and prove that I'm nearly to 100% of my capability, perhaps, and that the James that everybody saw that first year since the incident, it was a stroke. It was a stroke, an infarction to the brain. And well, the first 3 years of evaluation, those first 3 years were pretty much good, high rates by students, but that fourth year was horrible. Didn't took a break to rest. I thought I could do it, and it was a bad choice. Thought I did good, but had a lot of problems, mostly with my behavior, but the physical parts I'll just go ahead and omit and ignore. Thank you very much for your time, and respectfully, James Garcia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going to recess open and go to closed. I'm such a what? Say it into the microphone. Own what you're saying? He's not here today.
I will not be here next month.
Nope.
I have to be in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Bummer. That's when we vote for individual raises.
My other job.
And the use of the corporate jet. So, it's okay, I'll take your vote. Hey, next month we vote on the jet and our raises, and if you have to be here, right?
That jet.
I'll zoom in.
Stephanie, someday I'll get you. That was. So I read it, I forwarded it to her. I couldn't find it. So on my phone, I got to hit all these buttons. You know, if you hit enough buttons, you'll find what you need to. So as soon as I get home, yeah, thanks. It's very appropriate. Thank you for saving my.
And we do have a report out from closed session, so we're just waiting for that to be summarized. Delish.
Did you like it? You enjoyed it? He was asking me, he's like, I want to know what everybody thinks. So
It was really good. Right across the street.
This call has worked really hard to
it
get
was
rid of.
by like email, so not far,
I
but
can see some
it was
trouble.
nice because like I typed all your guys' orders out, and it's like I got his number when I asked, like, hey, like, could he mail you?
I may
He's like, just send me a picture of it. I'm like, it's so nice. Then he had it so organized, your names.
Okay, 5 o'clock from now on.
Yeah, no more 5:15. Are we waiting for the email from for a report out?
Well, I don't think we need to wait on the emails.
Late. I thought I had to wait for the report
It
out.
never happened under President.
Fire
Wood's
me, boys.
term
Fire
or-
me. Oh, we just
Yeah,
ran
never.
excessively long.
Well, I will make sure closed session starts at 5 from now on.
Let's do roll call.
Trustee Tarpley,
Here.
Trustee Brady,
Here.
Trustee Terrell,
Here?
Trustee Griffin is not here this evening, Trustee Wood, Student Trustee Reyes,
Here.
Superintendent President Dr. Walden.
Here.
Okay, and then we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Do I have a volunteer? Yes, Mr. DeVericus. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And thank you for volunteering.
Hey, I appreciate you did that Air Force slow countdown thing.
Who's the prayer?
I don't know.
That was
Do
very
we have
Air Force of you.
anybody for the prayer?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry.
No,
Hello,
that's
Joe. I'd like to have Pastor Michael Tucker come on up to the front of the microphone. And I would like to say this. Pastor Tucker has two parishes, one in Barstow, California, and one in Apple Valley. And he is one of the longest standing pastors in the Mojave River Valley's history. So I think you've been doing this for, 60 plus years? So welcome, and I really appreciate you driving in from Barstow tonight to do
Oh,
this.
yes, thank you.
You are no pastor has driven as far as you have in all the years we've done this, so we really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. And we'll just go before the Lord now. Mighty Savior, we're so thankful again for all of your blessings. We're thankful to be in this beautiful place with these wonderful people. We're thankful that so many lives have been changed as they've come in contact with this college. They've come in contact with ways that could help them to help others. And we're thankful for the wonderful board you have and all of the great decisions that they make. But Savior, I want to pray directly to you because I know that regardless of how smart someone is, regardless of how educated someone is, they must depend upon you and your guidance and your leading. We ask that you continue this work at Victor Valley Community College, that you continue it with men and women that are willing to listen to your will and to follow you completely. I ask this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Tucker.
Can we delay the report out till I have something to report out?
Okay, announcement of items deleted or corrected from the agenda.
None.
Okay, and public comments related to the agenda? Or
Non-agenda.
That's, I can't read, I'm sorry. Okay, so Board of Trustee goals, it is my turn, correct, for that? Or should I do that in a different order? 6-1 first?
You can go ahead and do yours. Just tell them what you're doing.
So I'm deferring my Board of Trustee goals to a presentation that will be coming later on the agenda. Okay,
Boy, that was quick.
you're welcome. 7.1, individual Board of Trustee reports. Take it away, Brandon.
All right. It's always so much easier when someone else goes.
I know.
You remind me of what I've done. Been very busy helping to coordinate with the court reporter program or trying to herd cats. Not Mackenzie. She's not one of the cats. She's one of the shepherds with me. Trying to rope in as much participation. We're having a round table, or Mackenzie and her team is having a round table coming up and trying to get members of the legal community and the employers there. I think right now we have a pretty good group. I told Mackenzie as we were walking out, I did speak with presiding judge Rod Cortez again, and I think he's going to probably get a judge there at the meeting to get input from the bench, so that's good. And I think that's about it. Till someone says something, then I say, oh yeah, I was at that event also.
Great. Trustee Reyes?
Hello,
Student
everyone. I wrote it down, so. All right, so pending the vote tonight, ASB is hoping to take 14 students, Robert Sewell, Tim Isbell, and Andrew Caravella to the annual ASAC conference in Washington, D.C. from March 12th to the 17th. ASB submitted 6 resolutions, 5 sponsored by VVC ASB and 1 sponsored by the Student Senate Region 9. I do want to give a shout out to my student advocate Fulton for corresponding all of that. The 6 resolutions that we put forth was Women's Veterans Day, calling for implementation of statewide AI detection guidelines in the California Community College system, emotional support animals on campus, open studio time for art majors to study, adding authors to the SSCCC resolutions website, emergency button and protocol on community colleges students app. And then we are taking 6 students to the Student Senate General Assembly on March 26th through the 29th in San Francisco. Club Rush, we will be having all the clubs come together on March 3rd and 4th from 10 to 2. ASB will be sponsoring March of Dimes on May 9th, 2026. And we sponsored the theater for students to attend the American College Theater Festival. And that will conclude my report.
Nice.
Do you keep track of your frequent flyer miles? I mean, the whole time I'm thinking you could get some miles out of this thing.
I would refer that to Advisor Sewell, who I think has
He's probably
all
got
that.
8 million miles.
Yeah.
Steve?
Only 5 million?
So I had the pleasure of attending the effective trustee and board chair workshop in Sacramento. Got to do that with Dr. Griffin, and then missed out on Dr. Dan. He was ill and couldn't attend with us. Other than that, attended my normal Manufacturers Council of the Empire board meeting and the Greater High Desert Chamber. So other than that, my real day job kept me busy for the last 25 days.
Ain't that the truth? And Joe? Thank you.
Actually, I had a pretty quiet January. I did have a funny story. Is there anybody from the nursing program in here? No? Last week I had a medical procedure, and this lady walked in the room before they knock you out and was, asking the normal questions, date of birth and all that kind of stuff. I gave her my name, and she said, your name's like really familiar. And I just kind of laughed, and one thing led to another. And then I told her what I did for my day job, and I said, I'm really proud to be a trustee at Victor Valley College. And she turns immediately and said, "That was absolutely the best decision I ever made in my entire life." And I was sitting back in the bed before she injected me. I thought, I felt like a dad with a kid. No, it was really cool because her eyes and her face lit up and said, "It was the best decision I ever made." And so my procedure went really well. But when I came out, it's the first thing I said to Deb. She goes, "How'd it go?" I said, "We had a VVC student in there. Many years ago, I had a heart deal, and I had 3 nurses from VVC that took care of me." So I'll tell you, we're producing some great people, and I'm really proud of it. And everything came out all right. So God bless that nice young lady, and it's just nice when somebody is so proud of being here. So
Agreed.
yeah.
I had a busy January as well. I did attend the the ASB sponsored Dreamers Visionaries Night with MJ, Dorian Holly. It was epic. And I just want to shout out to Regina Bell, the queen of the high desert. She is the most amazing human being ever and just so magical. And ASB, thank you so much for sponsoring that event and making sure that we had access to that. It was quite a night of entertainment and quite a night for the community. And what a way to honor Martin Luther King Jr. So that was a great event. And then here we are back already here. I can't believe it's been a month. So moving along, we have the closed session report out.
And Stephanie, I emailed this to you for your minutes. Okay, the board met in closed session at 5:30 p.m. All members were present except for Dr. Griffin. Item 2.1, conference with legal counsel, is existing litigation, paragraph 1 of subdivision D of section 54956.9. Excuse me, San Bernardino County Transportation Authority versus Victor Valley Community College District, case number CIVSB 2436436. Aren't you glad I emailed this to you? No reportable action. Item 2.2, public employee discipline dismissal release pursuant to Government Code 54957, public employee number 100721026. On a motion by President Tarpley, second by Trustee Terrell, the board voted 4-0 to non-re-elect employee number 100721026. Notice of the non-re-election will be provided to the employee along with notification of his appeal rights. Item 2.3, public employee discipline dismissal release pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, public employee number 101121026. On a motion by Trustee Terrell, second by Trustee Brady, with Trustee Wood recusing himself from the discussion and the vote, the board voted 3-0 to terminate employee number 101121026. The employee will be provided notice of the termination. Closed session adjourned at 5:59 p.m. That's it.
Moving on to item 8.1,
All right.
if you want to introduce.
Yes. So, there he is. Okay, I'm like, starting to get nervous. We've had under contract for a little over a year now, maybe a year and a half, not quite that long, MGI Advocacy. Mark McDonald is the president of that organization. He is basically, for all essential purposes, a lobbyist working for VVC in Sacramento. He represents several large districts in the state, and he came to me recommended by the best of the best. So I asked him to work under a modest contract to represent us in Sacramento, and particularly to focus on his initial ask was to focus on getting us unfunded FTES. And secondly, to do whatever he could to get us the student housing allocation. And then throughout the last year and 4 months, I've asked him on a few other bills to advocate for. So he met with Cabinet yesterday, and he gave his report to them, and then they all, every single Cabinet member was quite engaged, and all had something they want him to be thinking about as he represents us in Sacramento. I intend to bring him regularly to the board, at least once a year. We can do it more often if the board likes, to basically tell us what he's done on our behalf, what he thinks he's got accomplished, particularly as it pertains to Victor Valley College, and also to hear the board's concerns about any legislation regarding community colleges that you would like for him to address in his advocacy role. So with that, Mark, good to have you.
Thank you. Is this on?
Is that on, Tim? Is the podium mic on? Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you, Board and Superintendent President Walden for having me here today. It's been a nice 2 days in Victor Valley. It's the first time I visited the college. It's great. I love the pond in the middle outside the president's office, I gotta say, is a nice touch. But I am here tonight to provide you with an update as to not only what's happened in the last year and where we've advocated for the college, but also to give you a little bit of a preview of what we're anticipating for the 2026 year as well. So first, the 2025 budget wins for Victor Valley. There were two big budget wins. Number one was $100 million in targeted growth funding that went specifically to districts that were over cap, that didn't go to any other districts. It resulted in about $4 million for this college. The other one was a $60 million student support block grant. This went to all districts, resulted in a little over $500,000 for this district. Where we are in the budget process right now is that the governor introduced his proposal on January 9th, and the legislative committees have begun hearing his various proposals for not just community colleges, but for the entire state. On May 14th, he will update his economic projections, and I'll get into that in a minute, and update his proposals for the state. And by June 15, the legislature will pass a budget, but that won't be the final budget because they'll continue to negotiate till July 1st when a final budget will be determined. So this is just a high-level overview, and then I'll get into a little bit of the community college proposals that were in the governor's January budget proposal. So high level, the state has a $350 billion budget. It's huge. Revenues were significantly higher than were projected at the signing of the budget July 1st. The governor's budget projects approximately a $3 billion budget deficit. The Legislative Analyst Office, which is the legislature's nonpartisan fiscal consulting arm, they actually projected an $18 billion budget deficit. The difference is that the administration has significantly rosier economic and growth projections than does the LAO. So a lot of the discussion over the last month has been whether the governor's revenue numbers can hold up. So what that means is the significant revenue means that there's a significant increase in Proposition 98 funding. 40 cents for every dollar that the state takes in goes to K-12 schools and community colleges. So much so that over the 3-year budget window, which is last year, the current year, and then next year, there's approximately $21.7 billion in additional revenues that's owed to TK through 12 schools and community colleges. And it'll be our job to advocate for where that money goes. This is just a chart that kind of shows you the orange line is where the new revenue estimates are, and the gray line is where the enacted budget estimates were. So if you see over that 3-year period, there's a significant amount of revenue. In 24, 25, that's already been collected. 25, 26, half of it has been collected. But all of that revenue in 26, 27 is just projections. I put this up here because I wanted to highlight something. If you look at, it says total P98 general fund appropriations and property taxes. If you go down to the third less, that says transitional kindergarten, and it says 0 in 24, 25, that's actually where we were able to get the $100 million for unfunded growth last year. We were able to redirect that money from TK to 12. If you look at 26, 27, it's about 2.1 billion. That's something that we are targeting this year that will be 200 million in ongoing money that could potentially go to community colleges. While there's a significant amount of Prop 98 money that's owed to community colleges and TK-12 schools, a lot of it is one-time money because of capital gains taxes is what it's mostly from. But that money in particular is ongoing money. So that's money that could be targeted for future growth for community colleges, just like we did in 24, 25. So Victor Valley budget priorities, and this is what Dr. Walden and his cabinet and I have worked with, is a couple things. Change the funding formula. Right now it's a 3-year average. So your growth that you realize in a current year is only 1/3 of what you've actually are serving in that year. Lift the 10% gap on growth. Increase growth funding in both the current year, because while we got $100 million for last year, they only proposed about 0.5% growth in the current year. So we're gonna need to get more both in the current year, and then the governor only proposed 0.5% growth in the budget year, which is next year. So we're going to need to get more in the budget year as well. And then a $100 million block grant, which is a discretionary grant that would go to all the colleges for things like student support services. Just kind of advocacy at work. Before the governor released his budget on January 9th, we submitted a letter that this district signed on to with a number of my other clients to the Department of Finance requesting specifically growth funding. The governor did propose 1% more growth in the current year in his budget, and I think part of it was because of that. But I put this headline up there because the letter was linked to in this article that was written in Cal Matters on higher education. And this was a letter that was actually specifically about growth funding and the need for growth funding, and how there were 12 districts throughout the state that had written this letter and were serving more students than they were being funded for. So in addition to budget, as Dr. Walden said, I work on legislation. Just wanted to provide a little bit of an update here on what happened last year. Just real quick, couple bills, and then what we anticipate for the coming year as well. So some wins were AB 42, which was actually a chancellor's office sponsored bill, and it increased eligibility for community college students in CalFresh and CalWorks. Also, it's not always the bills that pass that are victories. Sometimes it's the bills that don't pass that are victories. And this other one was AB 90, which would have allowed students to spend the night it would have required you to allow students to spend the night in their cars overnight in your parking lots. That was held. And then AB 323 provides some flexibility for you to provide direct support to your students who are doing internships. And you can partner with industry within your region in order to get students internships and help pay for those internships out of your strong workforce program dollars. And of course, there's always disappointments. And the biggest disappointment this year was AB 1400, which was vetoed by the governor. It would have allowed a number of community college districts to offer BSNs, bachelor's degrees in nursing. I anticipate seeing this bill again.
Yes.
I'm just going to be honest, I'm not optimistic as long as this governor's in office that something like this gets signed.
I like how you said that.
Go. So we are in the second year of a 2-year cycle. So all bills that didn't die last year are still alive. Some of the bills we're going to see, community college baccalaureate degree, already a number of bills introduced on that. One bill introduced that would change the definition of duplication from statewide to regional.
Bless you.
The 50% law is going to be discussed again this year, as always. Getting more money into the strong workforce program. After SB 323 was passed, that allows districts to better help students with internships, there's a desire to get more money into this program. And then finally, I wanted to address the student housing issue. This is going to be a major issue this year again. There were about, I think it was 9 colleges that were initially approved for funding. And the state was given, first it was going to be a grant program where the money was going to be given to the college to do what they wanted to do with it. The state went into a recession, so they pulled that money back. They were going to allow districts to float bonds. We told them that was a bad idea, so they do a state lease revenue bond, but there have been some complications from other districts in that process, and so some of those districts have given, or not given the money back, but decided they aren't going to utilize that bonding capacity. So in addition to all of the funding that was available for those colleges, the state was authorized to do an additional 81 million in bonding capacity. And then 3 of those colleges at the current time have decided they're not moving forward. So if you add all that together, at the current time, the state, over and above the projects that have been approved and are going to be funded, has about 278 million in bonding capacity available.
Let's jump on it.
So in conversations that I've had with the Department of Finance and with the state, what they want to do is they want to make sure that all those projects that were approved in the first round are a go and get funded to move forward before they start to move to another tranche of projects. Now, your college, and I'm looking at the president, I think was 3rd on the list that went through.
Yes.
One of the colleges that was first has already decided that they are not going to go through with that process.
So do we trickle
again.
up?
So that's the question. The chancellor's office is in the process of deciding whether they're going to go off that list in recommending projects or whether they're going to have colleges reapply. And the argument for having colleges reapply is that it's been 2 years and there may be some scope change to what projects would cost now as relates to what they would have cost 2 years ago when they were submitted. So that's being discussed. There probably won't be additional movement on the affordable student housing front until July, until these projects that have been approved, I think there's 6 of them left now, are a go, are moving forward before they start to either move down the list again or have the chancellor's office rescope it. So that's just being frank, that's
Yeah.
where we are on that front. So with that, happy to take, there's my email address and phone number, and happy to take any questions you might have.
So
on
is
anything.
the state waiting for certificate of occupancies for the projects that they're going to fund? Or are they just waiting for them to get in the ground? I mean,
They're waiting for them to start moving forward, so there's an approval process with the lease revenue bond where they have to sign an official contract. And there is actually an authorized scope change through the Public Works Board that the funding goes through of up to 20%. So some districts are applying for that 20% scope change. Not all of them, like Tahoe and Sierra are already done. They've been done. But there are some colleges like Fresno City College, I think San Mateo College, that are potentially looking at having increased funding come to them before they start. So they want to tie up the projects, know what their total obligation is before they start to go down the line to add other obligations.
so what's your most realistic estimation that when we could find out? Is it September?
I would say July. I would say by September, you should know what's going to happen. I would say July, they should know, because they want these districts to be I mean, if you think about it, there are at least 2 or 3 districts that are already shovels in the ground going. In fact, Lake Tahoe already had their ribbon cutting.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I think Sierra College already had their ribbon cutting as well. And,
did.
There was our
and
fight.
so, to the extent that they can get all these other districts signed on the dotted line, wrapped up, and shovels in the ground, then I think they'll move on.
Wow.
So just to refresh the board's memory, our proposal was not to ask for full funding. We were asking I want to say for 60 or 70% funding, and the rest we were going to do through Servitas, and
A
they were going to
partnership.
sell bonds on Wall Street, right? Those bonds, and manage the project that way. So that was our last one. So that would have meant whatever percentage the state funds we have to offer at the affordable housing rate, and then the ones that we would do, that was could be offered at market rate. It's a 240 bed facility over here next to the Child Development Center that was proposed, and no responsibility to the college for any of it. In other words, we wouldn't be out any money in that scenario.
Yes, I do
At all.
recall.
I should say also that there are other opportunities moving through the legislature. For example, there's a education facilities bond that Assembly Member David Alvarez is carrying that would provide funding for facilities at higher education institutions. So it'd be community colleges, UC and CSU. And a portion of that is carved out right now to go towards affordable housing. So that would be a statewide general obligation bond would then flow down.
And
But
he's chair of the
education,
fund.
budget education subcommittee.
But as a community college, would we be less likely to be picked for that because we're a community college and not a UC or a Cal State?
No, it would be spread out
It would be
amongst the segments.
fairly, yeah.
The problem with that would be that it would have to be approved by the voters. And before the legislature would pass it, they would want some sort of assurance that at least polls were looking in the right direction, that voters would approve a bond that included housing in it.
And I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, especially in today's political climate. How much do you deal with Senator Suzette and Senator Bowe and Assemblyman Carrillo and Lackey for us?
Yeah,
And
so
are they advocating for us? I mean, are they doing what they're, I know they'll stand there and they'll tell us that, and they'll invite you to a cocktail party, but are they advocating for what we need?
I will tell you that Assemblymember Carrillo last year was very involved and pushed very hard for inclusion of your housing project in the budget, to add it to the Budget Act when particularly College of the Canyons decided they weren't going forward. He said, we're in the same region, this makes sense. So he was a strong advocate. And it wasn't because of a lack of advocacy that it wasn't included. It was one of those things where the administration just shut it down and said, we aren't doing any more until we're done with what we've approved. But he was constantly talking to Mr. Alvarez, who is chair of the Budget Committee.
What about our senators, Suzette and Rosalia?
Rosalia is very, she's on the Senate Budget Subcommittee, and she's been a very staunch advocate for this college, I would say, and everyone in this region. She wasn't involved in the housing project as Mr. Carrillo was, but definitely an advocate for growth in the region.
I would say that our record right now, right, with our growth and all of that is, it has to be helpful for us. It has to paint a good picture for us in that regard. So I would encourage everybody in the room to keep doing what they're doing, right? Because we're growing and we're successful, and that helps for you to be successful in the right rooms, hopefully. And I think
So
it's amazing.
what I know about Mark is that he knows everybody up there, and he not only does he know the people, he knows their people, the people that are in their ear. And I mentioned our senator tonight, and he's like, "Oh, I got her chief of staff on I can call her right now." So because of that, I think he has. They listen to him a lot. Besides that, he's got heavy hitter districts, not just Victor Valley. LA and on and on.
Yeah, before I came in here, President Walden asked me how I deal with, and I think this is a fair question, how I deal with potential conflicts amongst clients that I might represent that are community college districts. And the community college districts that I represent right now are all in a similar situation to this district, in that they are growing and they want growth funding moving forward. And I don't think it would be fair for me to take another client that was, say, on the funding floor and was advocating for a hold harmless to be extended when we're fighting for limited pot of dollars. But I will say I've just completed another letter that we're going to send. So when you're out there, and Trustee Brady, you see those members at events and, mention the growth issue to them. Because when they hear it here, and then they hear it also up in Sacramento, it resonates even more.
No, I agree, and it's good to hear. I know that Lackey's turned out. I think his replacement will be Charles Hughes. I think Charles will be the best assembly person we've ever had down here. So We just need that representation. Sometimes people kind of forget who we are. You just got to get in their face.
So we've had them all here on campus, campus tours, everything except for Senator Valderas. So, but I talked to her staff member tonight at an event we had here at the college earlier, and she said, we're going to get her here. She said, we're working on that happening, so.
So, Mark, I will say this publicly. I know who you are by reputation. We have a lot of common friends. I want to tell you, I appreciate what you're doing. You live in a swamp up there. I mean, the swamp in Sacramento is, I think, as bad as the swamp in D.C. And from what I understand, you kept your nose clean. I thank you. I know that Dr. Dan appreciates what you do. I appreciate meeting you at the CCLC conference in Anaheim, and whatever you can do. I mean, our region is one of the fastest growing regions in the state now, and will be for a real long period of time, really driven by industrial growth and some of the things that Trustee Terrell's involved in, things like that. So we really see it, and we do need the money. And candidly, I want to really see that school building built before I leave here in December of 2030, if the voters bring me back this next November. Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to introduce Mark to Trustee Wood and Trustee Brady at 2 different events. I had plans. I'd already called Mark and told him that I was going to introduce you and Trustee Griffin. But, you know, I got sick and couldn't go. But you would have met him then, so he wouldn't have been new to you tonight. But
We'll
we
catch you
still
on the
would have
next
been
trip
new.
to SAC.
Whenever you're in Sacramento, look me up. I'm happy to meet.
I got your number.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for everything
Fly
you're doing.
safe.
So our next presentation, the board goal number 4, that's why
I defer.
Trustee Tarpley deferred, because that was going to be her goal to report on tonight. And the board goal, if you remember, was written around VVC 2030 and beyond. And Dr. Scott just decided on a whim that he would write up a document and send it in to Bellwether and compete for the top 10 again, and we got selected to go and do that. And we'll be Eric and Todd and I will be going in a week from Saturday to San Antonio, and we're going to go in there and try to get first place. And tonight he's going to engage you in a presentation about it, because we want to be able to say the board discussed this. It's one of your goals, but I want you to see what all has happened. I did send you the digital binder, the draft of it, right? It got fancier after that. But the idea of not chasing our tail, with growing and never having, I don't want to steal his thunder, so I won't say anything else about that, except that using the analytics to project where we could be using 3 different scenarios. Come on, Todd.
Well, thank you for such a colorful presentation.
And
slideshow.
Dr. Walden and Dr. Todd and Eric, I'm not a huge barbecue guy, but I don't think I've ever been to a city that has better barbecue than San Antonio, ever. I mean, you just can't go wrong. The best brisket in the world, so I hope you
Okay, take it away, Todd. Thank you.
So this idea came about, Dr. Walden and I had a conversation, and this was, I don't know, 6 months ago or something, and it was about, you know, if we continue to grow like this, what is Victor Valley College going to look like in 2030?
Right.
And as you all know, in the past 4 or 5 years, this is a completely different institution in terms of the staffing, the culture, all of that. So it was, and what we came to realize too was, like Dr. Walden stealing my thunder, is like we've been chasing our tail, right? The growth is coming or is here, and we're realizing, oh, we don't have enough people in We don't have enough faculty. We don't have enough staff, classified professionals. You know, when you have in a matter of a number of years, when you have 8,000 more students, the stress on the institution and the human capital is incredible. So we want to try and avoid that. Now, what you're going to see is it's some projections, yes, on projected 2.5% growth, 5% growth, and 7.5% growth. But what makes this interesting is it's a living document, right? So as more, see you, Mark. As more data comes into us, we can adjust the model and make adjustments in terms of what we plan on potentially staffing, what we might need, square footage, or whatever. So this is just a reminder of the growth that we have. Now, you know, our spring is we are backing off that. However, and as what we've done over the last few years is you just don't build something and they come, right? It's intentional about getting students to come to Victor Valley College and have an excellent experience. So we really need to keep that momentum going. So we're talking about the growth and what the strains have had on the institution, like the staffing strain. You know, we realize that some departments, non-academic departments, support departments, they were treading water, keeping their head above water and not having enough help, staffing help to complete that task. If you have 8,000 more students and 150 more employees, the strain on these departments has become evident. And that's one of the things we want to avoid, right? We want to say, let's look at this as a cabinet, and the cabinet has started to look at this, but again, it's a living document, and periodically or whatever, however the president decides to do this, we will come together as a cabinet, look at this, make decisions, and adjust that model. So it can kind of tell us in real time, what does the college look like a year from now, 2 years from now, and 5 years from now. The facilities pressure, right? Those more students, scheduling conflict, we've solved some of that with some software issues. The campus infrastructure strain, how many times do you have to now empty garbage bins if you have that many more students, if you have that many more people? And then the fiscal constraints, which you talked about, Dr. Riemann has talked about too, this 10% annual growth cap. Mark had mentioned that too, these unfunded FTEs, and that's something we really have to consider. So I want to talk about the hiring that has gone on over the last 3 years. So when you look at managers, 36, you're like, we don't have 36 more managers. There's a lot of attrition that goes through there. People get promoted, they leave, that position's replaced. So that number is there. It's not necessarily 36 more, but there was 36 hiring actions that happened during those last 3 years in terms of managers. Full-time faculty, that is almost, there's very little attrition there, but that is 34. Full-time faculty that have been hired, part-time faculty, 368 more full-time or part-time faculty, and 127 more classified staff that have been hired. So that many people over the last 3 years, that causes strain on the institution. And I just want to acknowledge Monica and her crew for being able to pull all of this off. And it's been pretty, on the outside, it's been pretty seamless. So I don't know what kind of chaos has gone on the inside, but so So that just kind of gives you an idea, not only the student growth, but the staffing growth that we dealt with. So the scenario-based decision-making, like I said, we based this on a 2.5% growth scenario, a 5% growth scenario, and a 7.5% growth scenario. Now we may, depending on how enrollments, we may adjust this. So if you look at, and this was all done spreadsheet-wise, and I'll mention some artificial intelligence that I use to do this, but so if you look at our, just the 2.5% annual growth scenario, very modest, right? Modest growth for us. You can see by year 5, we have yet another 4,000 students that will be on campus that we're having to serve. The number of course enrollments, the FTES would be up to 15,162 FTES. So when you look at the full-time faculty equivalent, you see the baseline is 286. Does that mean we have 286 full-time faculty? No, it does not, but it's equivalent. So that includes the part-time faculty. It might be 2 part-time faculty teaching 50%. That equals 1 full-time equivalent. So that's what you're seeing there, and you can see, but this modest growth by year 5, we're going to need that many more full-time equivalent students, and the budget is just increasing incredibly to fund all of this and be funded for all of this. Where it really start to get crazy, which we've experienced, is when we start getting into the 5% and the 7.5% annual growth scenario. So it's compounding, right? It's compounding upon each other. And you see, another 8,000 students in this scenario, almost 100 more full-time faculty equivalent. And I will get into some, the other, the classified professionals and their staffing here in a moment. And a 7.5 annual growth scenario. So this is what we really experienced over the last few years, right?
It's this one, yeah.
But we were reacting to it. It's like, holy cow, we need to get hiring some more people. People are drowning there, and we need to get hiring some more people. So the idea is, let's start projecting the future and relieving the strains on both the physical and the human capital by not reacting, but responding and predicting and taking action before this happens. So this involves management and classified, and this was done with artificial intelligence, right? So using our data, our historical data, and our staffing, it gives us an idea what the pressure might be in this 2.5%, right? How many, in the 5-year impact, how many full-time equivalents we might need to add, and what the risk is if it's not addressed. So course equity and basic needs, if that risk is not, or it's got a high risk if that is not addressed because students are going unserved in those areas. The reassignment and admin and leadership, that really just means we can shuffle things around. We can just pile more stuff on our managers, right? They don't
Poor
get stressed
McKenzie.
out. And the overall framing can be largely absorbed in early years, but it starts to emerge at just 2.5. The strain really starts to emerge later on as the growth starts compounding upon itself. Same thing with the 5% annually. You can see the risk starts to move a little bit as the capacity starts to expand. So we have to, this is something that I think is a very high likelihood for us, is this 5% annually, and planned staffing investments. So we really need to start planning ahead of time in all areas about staffing, because we don't want to overstress departments and not serve not only our staff, but our students, of course. And then the 7.5%, everything becomes critical. If we don't, existing structures start to fail, the services to students start to fail, we'll start to see student success rates become lower. So that is really the most important piece, is serving our students, and we have the right capacities to serve these amount of students. So you can see, 2, 3, 4 full-time equivalents in most of these areas. And, this growth rate, it might require a redesign. That's something that the executive cabinet's going to have to decide if this starts happening. And we were, I think about just the last couple of years, we were redesigning by purpose or by reaction. And how many times did we get a reorg happening within the college in the last few years? Because we're reacting to what is happening in terms of our growth. These are just charts for the visual learners about the growth projections. That's the FTES. If on that green line at 7.5%, we're at baseline now, which is a little low, we're a little bit higher than that. You look at that green line in year 5, it's upwards of 19,000 FTES. So once we become a large college, which we will at some point.
So 20,000 FTES, you become a large college in the state. And just like you've referred in the past, the discussions I know led by, I think, John Pinkerton prior to my coming, wanting to move us from small college to middle college.
We dreamed that it was like 10,000 was totally, it was like a dream.
But if you follow a 7.5% out 5 years, we are at large college. And that's another level.
No, I get it. So.
And that's,
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yes. I mean, that's
Bigger plane.
That's upwards of 40,000 students at Victor Valley. It's incredible, but
whether
it's not unreasonable.
Whether it takes 5 years or 10 years, this college is going to get there. And that's going to happen.
So Todd, stupid question. So most of our students come from our feeder high schools?
Yeah.
Okay. There's not one high school planned in the entire district right now to be added. So if the
Silverwood.
Huh?
Silverwood has.
Yeah, but they won't start for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
So if the schools are not at full capacity right now, none of them are.
So what
Are
I
we
did
making
was
the assumption that we're getting people? Listen, I'm a huge believer in growth. I believe the high district is going to grow. I don't believe it's going to grow to that number, because we also have, on the reverse side, we also have populations kind of declining. People aren't having kids as much. So I'm kind of wondering where that middle ground is.
So what I did was, so I took, and I don't know how it didn't make it in here, but I took all of the historical high school enrollments, all of our high schools, and fed that into an AI model. And I took our census, all of the zip codes that we serve, and I also fed that into the model. So high schools, they're projecting, or it projected about a 1 to 1.5%, so kind of flat, right, in terms of high school population. But what the census reveals is 24 to 30, 35-year-old group, that is where the major growth is going to happen in the high desert, right? So, but that gives us something to, it provides us some intelligence that we can work with. Like, we now have some non-traditional age students out there, and what do we do to serve them?
Target them.
Non-credit stuff, right? The adult learners that, like the CDL's perfect example. Those things that people in that age group might be looking to upskill or gain additional skills in their position. So when we have information like that, I think it's important for us to use it and start developing things now, because they don't, those programs don't happen overnight, as the court reporting thing has borne out. But so if we can make those projections now where this is going to be our largest group, we will have programs in place and ready for that age group so that is the largest age group coming to the high desert, as by all the housing that's
So
coming.
based on-
and all the manufacturing that's coming in the warehouses, right?
Well,
It's not gonna be your high school kids working
So
there.
where the
No, I
data
think
is,
the warehouses are gonna drive this deal. So you've got two things happening. You've got the warehouses going up here. I think the economy's gonna explode. I mean, GDP was at 4.4% second week in December. They talk about it being at 5 in October. So by then, people come to school when the economy's slow. But I do agree with that age group that we need, because there's a whole lot of them out there.
Can you repeat the age group, 24 to what?
35.
Don't quote me on it, but
I'm writing it down, Todd.
well, it's actually in the design. He just didn't put it in this.
yeah,
presentation.
it's you're beyond your high school age, so 24 to 35,
Okay.
36, somewhere around.
I mean, Steve sees it in his industry all the time. So
So we believe that there's going to be where we need to be focusing our attention, not that we would turn away from the high schools because we still want to get everything that's coming out of there. But like he said, those projections are flat at best.
Yeah.
But it is, what about this other need as this population comes in? Are we ready for them to train, to upskill, and to provide the adult learner?
Right.
Instead of the traditional aged college student. That's what I love about this model, and I love the way that it gives us things so we're not being so reactive. We could we could say, oh well, what happened to our growth? But yet there's this need out here. Oh, we need to do that, and then we're scrambling, and you can't do that stuff. Like, how long have we worked on this court reporting thing, right? Yeah, and we're way behind. I mean, we should have had court reporting 3, 4, 5 years ago. But this is the kind of thing that, with this model, allows us to start looking at where we need to be putting our efforts.
And we did a presentation at a different conference, and what became clear, not this presentation, but it was about adult learners, is that is a forgotten, colleges don't think about that at all, right? Most colleges don't. Some colleges do it very well. And, they have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 FTEs just in adult learners alone. And they have a whole division surrounding that. So the path forward for us, if the predictions are correct, the path forward for us is to continue our growth. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to ignore the high school age group. We're still going to serve them. But if there is not that many coming in, as has been passed, to continue our growth, we really need to start refocusing on what is going to happen here in 3 to 5 years, and we need to start developing programs surrounding that. So more for the visual learners, the student headcount projections, it's up over 36,000 in 5 years. The budget goes crazy, and full-time faculty equivalent, of course, goes up as well with that. So
Wow.
that's it. Any other questions?
Good job.
I
All
mean,
right,
I
thank
would
you.
just say one thing, that as a late in life learner, right? I didn't get my bachelor's till I was in my 40s, and I got my AA. 49. Shut your mouth. I think I got my AA finally in in my 40s. So it's a different style of learning as well. Just know that like when you're 40 or 35 plus 5, you don't want to go sit in the school with the high schools. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're one of the other projects we're working on is shortened term, which we're going to be developing a totally online sociology degree that adult learners can do, after the kids are in bed or you get home from work and I'll do all that within about 18 months. So get that associate degree
Yeah.
in 18 months.
I also highly recommend, not that this is the forum for this, but highly recommend like fast tracking ed plans so that they can be more hands-on. Get that poppin', because that's way easier if you can just plan your own and get that done. You're going to the JC or the community college as the coupon, right? Your cheaper unit, so get all your gen out of the way and then go get your specialty or whatever. That's what I did. So I don't know, just
Yeah,
food
I
for
don't
thought.
want to.
That's good. That's right.
I don't want to release too much on that, but that's.
I'm happy to consult for
it's
free.
it's in the works. It's in the works. All right. Thank you.
Great seeing you, Todd.
Great being here.
So
Take it away.
Friday is All College and Service Day, so we'll be putting these walls up, and this place will be jam-packed with our faculty and staff. Todd's the MC for the first part of that. So you'll be seeing him from time to time in person. I will say that this was kind of an experiment in having him be a remote, but somebody asked me this week, how was it going? I'm like, he's way more productive now. And that's true.
Ouch.
The reason is, if you saw his office before, people come around the corner, they don't want to come and see me for whatever reason. They'd go to his office was like this one rotating door.
Those
So
glass
all day long, he's
walls.
being distracted from his things I got him working on. Haley, now she's got us a spreadsheet, and he's got 28 projects he's working on every single day of the week. And he and I, when we meet, we pull that. I have a meeting with him, just like I do all the VPs once a week, and we zoom in and go through every one of his projects. Where is he? How's it going? And he tells me he's busy all the time, and he still sets in our final interviews with our faculty and others, and that's been very effective as well. So it's worked out fantastic. But it was like we're trying to keep things going and reorging, and this is what we're getting out of it. I love this. So good job, Todd. Outstanding. Are we to my report or
Yes.
what? Okay. There's no facilities update tonight. Foundation?
Good evening, everyone. I have a brief report today. I really want to just encourage you all to attend our Hall of Fame. Many of you are sponsors and already have your tickets, and I can't wait to share the evening with you. You mentioned Regina Weatherspoon Bell earlier. She will be our MC for the evening.
Oh, nice.
So she's going to do a wonderful job,
The
but we're really
queen.
excited. We are almost sold out of tickets. So if you haven't bought your tickets and you want to attend, please do so.
Regina
It was my final push for Hall of
Witherspoon
Fame.
Bell. Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank
Highly
you.
recommend.
Yeah, thank you.
Kathleen and Courtney have been working on their basket every day.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. Oh, and silent, thank you, actually. Silent auction
Hey, I just walked by and I go, what is all this?
for the
It's the
foundation.
Hall of Fame basket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
It-
it gets bigger every day.
They do a fantastic job every year of giving the silent auction, and we're looking for silent auction items, and there are several here also in our audience who are working on silent auction items for me. Oh, thank you.
ASB goals.
Hello again. All right. So today we actually started printing the new ID cards. I will go ahead and pass this down so you guys can get an example. We have included QR codes, so when scanners are provided, then staff members on campus in various areas will eventually be able to use the IDs just by scanning. We've also been having fruitful discussion with the agriculture department to start a student-centered pilot
I
garden.
like what you did there.
I may have gotten some words of choice from our advisors.
That's
so.
very funny.
We're hoping to push the pilot program. They are looking towards something called like Cultivate VVC.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that goes. Right now we're identifying locations to test. And then the next board agenda, we look forward to a positive vote on our student shade structure on upper campus over the outside stage, because then we will be able to provide more eating areas outside, performances, and also looking forward to hosting the 9/11 25th Memorial. So. And then we also want to thank Dr. Walden, Dr. Eric Vreeman, and Dr. Todd Scott for helping with the enhancing of the kiln yard and allowing us to start ceramics classes in the spring. I believe my vice president, Angelina Seha, in the back over there, is taking the class, so I will make sure she gives you guys an update on how it goes.
And we like photos, just FYI.
Yes, she will
And
definitely
pottery.
be providing them. She's already making me something, she said, so.
Making us all something, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and that should conclude.
That's it? I'm
Yes.
done.
You don't have no comments?
I've been commenting all day.
Okay, I'm just asking. All right, so moving on to reports. Academic Senate,
Not here,
not here. AFT part-time,
not here,
CSEA,
not here,
CTA,
not here.
management.
Here.
I saw the walk.
Before I get started, I'd like to thank Dr. Scott for reminding me how much more work he's going to have for me. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
Good evening, Dr. Walden,
Just gonna
trustees, student trustee Reyes. So I just have a real quick management report tonight. Just wanted to show you the picture. This is from our inaugural Quilts of Valor event that we had last weekend. It actually was organized by the lady in the blue shirt with the stars on it. Her name's Shelley Ramsey. And so she brought this idea and said, hey, can we do this? Our faculty members volunteered their own time to come in and be part of this. And it's, as I understand, it's a nationwide organization that builds quilts for veterans, people that have served. And so I'll let you do some more research on your own. But I just want to bring this up because there were 43 people from the community that participated in that event on Saturday. They weren't there at all at the same time because there isn't space for 43 people in that room. But luckily, on the agenda tonight are a couple of items to do a construction project to double the size of their classroom. And so we appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
They're a great class.
How cute is
I've
that?
been down there. They're packed. I mean, they're like sardines in there.
What was this called?
This is Quilts of Valor.
Quilts of Valor.
You want to double the size of their classroom?
Yes, sir. And I'm going to fill it.
You got ideas for that?
Are we going up?
Oh, you're working on it, okay. I'm like, where is this coming from? Okay.
We're never graduating that group of students out and up.
They're just staying.
They just live here. Like, we should just paint their names on parking.
I'm telling you,
That's
they're really, it's
Okay,
cool.
so let's do a 10-minute technology break.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was dying.
I was gonna write you a note.
Dan.
He has to go somewhere. He has a meeting.
Yeah.
I'll get one after. 3-minute warning, Brandon Wood. It's a 3-minute warning. Wrap it up. He doesn't even look at me. In and out? Cheeseburger, no onions, protein style, French fries.
Double, animal style.
Oh, good choice. Two-minute warning.
Chocolate shake. Chocolate shake.
That voice is different.
Thank you.
You can get good announcing that.
The little mouse.
Right. Wendy's having oral surgery in the morning. I gotta have her at the dentist by 8.
Okay, we'll do our best. I know. 1-minute warning, Brandon Arthur Wood. Come on down.
Hey, they got somebody, the FBI's detained somebody.
Wow. Thank you.
I think the FBI puts up
I'm going to just let you believe that.
here early.
Brandon, early is on time is late.
Thank you, Haley. 30 seconds for y'all to finish your combos. Were they really good?
Yeah. They're good.
Yeah.
There's some back there still.
I know, I'll get one after. Reward for if
They'll
we
be
get
a
out of
little
here.
bit more stale, so they.
Let's go ahead and start. I'm sorry, I get tired. So consent agenda,
Motion.
Second.
motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. I'm writing the please. There it is.
Thank you.
There was nothing pulled from consent. 13.2 Board Resolution 2601, Black History Month.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Would anybody like to read it? I really like it when we read them.
I will.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do I need a student advisory beforehand?
Yes.
Okay, let's just do that. Okay, go ahead and read it.
On the motion of member Joseph Brady, seconded by member Stephen Terrell, the following resolution is hereby adopted. Whereas in 1776, the Declaration of Independence recognized the United States of America as a new nation dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and whereas in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln, in reference to the Declaration of Independence, stated 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. And whereas Black History Month, celebrated in February, dates back to 1926, when Carter G. Woodson set aside a special period of time in February to recognize the heritage and achievement of Black Americans. And whereas the contributions of African American citizens as scientists, inventors, legislators, educators, explorers, military leaders, and countless other professions have greatly benefited our nation, and whereas Black History Month is an opportunity for all Americans to commemorate the struggles and victories of African Americans in our history, their invaluable contributions to society, and their unyielding dedication to the overall protection and defense of our nation in matters of both war and peace. Now therefore be it resolved that the Victor Valley Community College District recognizes Black History Month, encourages all citizens to explore the rich and significant heritage of the African American community, and honors the vital role of African Americans in the economy, culture, and community throughout the district and the United States. Passed and adopted by this governing board on February 10th, 2026.
Thank you so much. We're on 14.1, foundation donations.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. And student advisory?
Yes.
Moving on, 15.1, non-resident tuition fee.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Terrell, second by Brady. Student advisory?
Yes.
And that is going down, correct?
It went down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So its actual cost of education is calculated by our fiscal department, and so you can't charge less than actual cost. You can charge more. A lot of districts do, but this is mostly our athletes from out of state and so on. So just $306 per unit.
Great.
I think this is the first time I've been here since it's gone down.
Did that pass? Okay, great. I missed it. I wasn't looking. 15.2, quarterly financial status report Q2 as of December 31st, 2025.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Uh, 16.1, new management job classification and salary placement for distance education program manager.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Sixteen point two, non-academic, non-classified personnel salary schedule.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Sixteen point three, professional expert salary schedule.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Seventeen point one, workforce development Victor Elementary School District.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Workforce Development San Bernardino Community College District.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Did that go through? Okay. Curriculum changes. Motion by Brady. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Terrell. And student advisory?
Yes.
Okay. And 17.4 contract purchase agreement, fire trucks unlimited.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Brady, second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Did that one? No. Here's the good one. 18.1 agreement, SMG Ontario Arena LLC.
Motion.
Oh.
So this is, for the audiences.
We'll do motion by Terrell, second by Wood. And student advisory?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Air
so-
conditioning.
Sounding, yes.
For the audience, I'll announce that this is our graduation. This year, we'll be having it at the Ontario Toyota Arena.
AC.
People don't have to sit in the sun anymore.
Cheaper for the bought air.
It actually was 30,000, 35,000 cheaper.
Wonderful. Let's vote on it, guys. Voting is open. Okay. And 19.1, discussion only on prohibition of sexual harassment under Title 5?
Yes, this is a very legal document, so it was drawn up by lawyers, so I didn't even touch it.
Yep,
It's
and
real
we
clean.
get those in advance. So do we have any discussion?
Nope, it's clean.
It's clean. So then with no discussion, I will
Motion to
entertain a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn by
Second.
Brady and a second by Terrell. Student advisory?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
7:33.
7:32, make the record know. 7:32.